We bought our first ever home, and it was a 70s fixer-upper that hasn't been touched since it was originally built, except for maybe some paint on the walls. The layout was pretty inefficient, with only half a dining room, half a breakfast nook, a tiny kitchen, no pantry, and 2 living rooms on the same floor, so we decided to change that. My husband had about a month to help me with renovations before he started his residency program, so we immediately got to work so we could get moved in. We also solicited my father-in-law's help, also known as Grandpa, with the plumbing and electrical for the first week or so, and it was a huge blessing. We demoed the kitchen and decided to move it to the former dining room that freed up tons of space for a spacious pantry and office area. We couldn't take these walls down altogether because they were load-bearing, so we kept the column and added a beam and gave it an arch. My husband moved a few windows to accommodate for the cabinetry, and I got to work framing out our new pantry. When it was time to drywall, I added a door to this dead space above, and we use it to store Christmas presents in, which has been the best thing ever. These inexpensive cabinets came from Home Depot on sale, plus with a military discount, we got them all for around $1,000, which was a steal. We didn't have a ton of money to spend on countertops, so I built my own and painted them to look like marble, and then I added a food-safe, heat-proof, stain-resistant, and yellowing-resistant epoxy over top, and they have been amazing for us. Although we will be replacing the section around the sink area with something a little more sturdy. I painted the cabinetry and replaced the doors to make them look a little more high-end, and then I got to work on adding some customization of my own, like taking the cabinets all the way to the ceiling, building a pull-out trash drawer, building pull-out shelves, drawer dividers, a spice cabinet, and getting rid of the controversial corner cabinet Lazy Susan. I built the cabinets for the new pantry right away so we'd have somewhere to put our food when we moved in, and when that was done and we had a fully functioning kitchen and were able to move in, my husband started his residency program, so it was left up to me to continue with the renovation solo. I got to work building the fireplace of my dreams with the intention of turning this area into a small sitting room. I realized that the place we had in mind for our table wasn't quite big enough, so we ended up putting the table and chairs here instead, and it worked out way better. I wanted to add as much storage as possible to this house to hide all my junk, so I added these tall cabinets to the exterior wall of my pantry and a little command center with a junk drawer, which has been the best thing to keep the clutter off my cabinets and mostly out of sight of any visitors that come to our home. It was right about this time that I found out I was pregnant and therefore out of commission, so we called Grandpa back in to give us a hand, who got to work installing new flooring for us. The hardwood flooring did not continue through the floor, so rather than patching it and resanding it and staining it, we opted to fill in the open areas and cover it with a luxury flooring. We also ripped out the nasty carpet in the living room and continued the flooring into there and onto the many stairs of this house. I had Grandpa also replace the hand railing on the stairs with something more modern, which totally gave it new life. Grandpa made all of my range hood dreams come true by adding the same stone I used for our fireplace and arching it to flow with all the other arches we've added to our home. That was all just part 1 of our home renovation. Stay tuned for part 2.